Have you ever thought about how much would we suffer without driving? We drive every day, running through thousands of miles every month and using our vehicles to reach the spot the fastest way. Through last century, the evolution of car manufacturing made a biggest step that lets us choose any type of vehicle we want. Brand, luxurious interior, quantity of horsepower, reliable spare parts, whatever. Every day, each car brand of the world is creating new solutions for making the driver experience safe and fun. And that is the reason why we have so much choice when we get to buy a driving vehicle. But there's still a choice between the two significant factors that make your vehicle move. You either choose gas-powered engine or electric one. For the last decade, manufacturing of electric vehicles gained significant popularity, which makes all world brands to think about creating their own electric model, or even worse. Or even worse, electrifying everything they have. Today we're gonna dive into the creation of electric vehicles, find out the details about manufacturing process, stick through all pros and cons of electricity as a power source, and finally reach the root of the truth. Either the electric vehicle is a clean, harmless solution for a planet, or another way of destroying it. Audi is gonna create all electric vehicles starting from 2026. Volkswagen is gonna electrify 70% of their manufacturing by 2030 and get to electrifying all their models by 2050. Chinese electric vehicles are becoming popular around the world, including Uzbekistan, whole CIS, and Europe. Several years ago, ecological committees started worrying about the carbon footprint and ozone layer of Earth, which is badly affected by oil mining and petroleum creation out of that oil. That was the first step of getting back to electric vehicles that were first manufactured in early 20th century, but were so much useless and uncomfortable at a daily use, so they didn't gain popularity. And the idea was grounded. Today, when technologies arise, electric vehicles became easy manufacturable, and many car brands are creating their own model and turning all engine-powered cars to electric vehicles. That's it! Знаешь, это прикол, да?
Vaughn.
Today, when technologies arise and electric vehicles became easy manufacturable, many car brands are creating their own model and turning all engine-powered cars to electric vehicles. You might think that it's great for the ecology of the world, and yes it is, but not in that massive way everyone considers. There's a publishing house named the Daily Mail which first started telling about the ecological harm that electric vehicles can create. They published a statement about research ordered by Honda, Aston Martin, Bosch and McLaren. Scientists that work on that research show that manufacturing process of electric vehicle releases more carbon dioxide or CO2 to the air than any manufacturing of gasoline engines for vehicles. Let's make the example of the electric vehicle named Polestar 2. Which is the sub-company of Volvo. So the manufacturing of one model batch releases 24 tons of CO2, and manufacturing of Volvo XC40, which is an engine-powered version of that vehicle, only releases 14 tons. And to cover the carbon footprint of Polestar 2 and make it lower than XC40's, it should ride around 78,000 kilometers. It could be just a simple statistics that work on the paper but not in life, but due to the research that are made in this field, first country that experienced the fact that e-vehicles' ecological status is a myth was China. In China, the percentage of electric cars usage is highest in the world. In some cities like Beijing, the quantity of e-vehicles are higher than traditional engines. Even police and other governmental structures as public transport are powered by electricity. Mostly it's BYD, NIO and Xiaopeng brands. Due to high prices of oil which is used to produce petroleum, China has fundamentally changed the vehicle infrastructure. But there's other reason. China is a leading country in lithium mining, and lithium is the first thing needed for lithium carbonated batteries. But also, China is world leader of air pollution in cities. So if the electric vehicles are that much ecological, then how come they have the most polluted air? There's a giant smoke that covers Beijing and other big cities of China. Here's the explanation. Chinese experts made a research that showed the fact that 85% of electricity is produced on thermal power plants, which are powered with coal. As quantity of electric vehicle rises, the need of electricity rises too. which means that thermal power plants are working in highest limits possible, which tremendously affect the air over the country. Scientists also count that to charge 1 kilowatt-hour of power for electric vehicle, the air is getting polluted with 280 grams of carbon dioxide. It doesn't seem much, but to compare, for 1 kilowatt-hour which is used to burn petroleum in traditional engine, it only affects air with 180 grams maximum. It can be higher in any type of petrol-powered engine. To conclude, if we count up the level of exhaust from thermal power plants that is needed to power up the electric vehicle for 1 kilometer range, it can be compared and have the same amount of CO2 polluting the air that diesel-powered bus produces. The same research was made by scientists of German Automotive Club. That's the community of vehicle engineers with a degree. These guys know what they're talking about. So they concluded that compact electric vehicle named Mercedes Smart pollutes air with 107 grams of CO2 for 1 kilometer range of driving, which is 21 grams higher than the same smart vehicle, which traditional engine pollutes through its exhaust. Another research, University of Science and Technology of Norway. Their researchers concluded that the manufacturing and usage of electric vehicles in countries that produce electricity by burning coal, oil or lignite are just ineffective and lead for higher level of pollution. The more electricity we need, the more power plants pollute air to produce it. Batteries that are used for e-vehicles are pretty big and heavy, and for the most part, they consist of highly toxic chemical elements like lithium, dangerous compounds of nickel, copper, aluminum, cobalt and other poisons that are much more dangerous than the exhaust gases of gasoline car. And due to the fact that these batteries cannot live longer than 5 years, utilizing them is becoming big trouble. That procedure is expensive, complicated, and it pollutes the air as well as producing the electricity for charging these vehicles, which doubles the pollution made by the electric vehicle. So you see the numbers, you see the statistics, you see the result of researches. The only question left is why do car brands continue creating the e-vehicles? Marketing. A human is a creation that believes for everything it hears and sees. So car brands use best marketeers to create great statements and presentation of electric cars and their eco-friendly status in order to confuse our minds and push up to buy the electric vehicle, believing that we are preventing our planet from dying. So now, after watching this video, the only question left is, do you want to be one of the zombified people? Or start thinking straight?